Welcome everyone to the H2H9 Head-to-Head-9 ceremony. It's me, Fish, and with me today I have Louis, and we'll be presenting together. I see the chat is already going crazy. Just so you know, you can also still write in the RC discussion on Discord during the show. There will be many times where the chat there will also be visible on stream. We're also recording everything. And yeah, I can't believe so many people have tuned in. Louis, welcome again.
Hello.
And let's remind ourselves we have the draft coming up. 6 captains head to head. But what is head to head? Just the greatest RCT competition there is, and there has been since I don't know when the first season started in or was in like 2002. I'm not really sure, but I'm just so excited to be here, and I'm so excited to host it with you, Luz. And let's just remind ourselves really quick what we're actually going to be looking at. And yeah, so much about that. If you're not hyped now, then I guess you will never be. Lewis, how important is it for you that there is another season of head to head now?
I mean, it's fantastic. One thing I love about Head to Head is that it brings loads of old members back to the site. They all come crawling out the woodwork, and that's just a great thing. It shows that our community is strong and will stay strong for quite a long time.
Exactly. Yeah, I 100% agree, and it's just so fun every time to be in that team to make experiences, make new friends, and also of course to improve your RCT and then to put it up against some of the best of the best. It's especially fun also for newer players who will then grow and build with maybe some of their favorite builders. And of course, some of those favorite builders we have up today as the captains of the upcoming head to head teams. Uh, the name's still unclear to me as well. But what will be clear to us in just a few seconds is going to be the draft order. Draft order, you say? First of all, maybe we should quickly give you guys an introduction to how this draft is even going to work. Lewis, do you want to maybe take us through that?
Yeah, so basically, we utilize a snake draft. So it means that everyone is assigned a pick order. We start at number one, we go to two, three, four, five, six, and then it goes back six, five, four, three, two, one. So if you're on one of the ends in position one or six, you get double picks, which is sometimes good, sometimes bad. It's just luck of the draw.
Yeah. And then in the end, we'll have 6 teams of 6 captains and 12 players, or 1 captain and 12 players per team. That's going to be absolutely fun to see. And also, maybe a quick shout out to those that also signed up to be captains, but in the end, there could only be 6 captains, but everybody who signed up would have been a really good choice. Uh, and I know specifically, Lewis, that you also told me that you liked all the captains this year, all the ones
Yeah,
that signed up
yeah.
for it.
I think all 10 that signed up were a could have been a good choice.
Yeah.
Obviously the admins have to choose only six, and it's unfortunate that RWE, Scoop, Cumber, and my mind's gone blank.
Perfectly fine. I think the last person will excuse us
Fred.
for this. Fred,
Fred.
Fred, not to be forgotten. Fred, we love you. We love you. And also, just before we reveal the draft order, just a quick shout out also to all those that helped with the presentation. Obviously, everyone in chat is already saying that the presentation value is really good, and we just thought that it would be, yeah, it would be a good opportunity to give back to the community. It was really short notice that we decided to do this, and yeah, it's just so fun, and I can't wait to see. No, not Rip Fred. Fred also will shine this head to head, I'm sure. And again, quick shout out to people like Posix, Royr, and BSG also for his advice. Royr obviously coming in strong with all the video stuff. Okay, so now let's reveal the draft order. It's all randomized, and I'll hit the button now, shouldn't I? This will decide who gets to have the first pick. Let's see. And here we have it. First pick Steve, last pick in cities. Louis, would you generally, you have been a captain in the past, just for those,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I was sixth pick last time out. It's great, I think, in that first initial round because you get two strong picks together. You know, last round one pick, first, second round pick. But then you've got to wait at 10 picks before number three. So there's a lot of strategy involved in those lower picks.
Yeah. So getting a good picking position is definitely important. It's not always clear what is the best picking position. It depends on who signs up. This year we had so many signups. To the last minute, the signups have been really strong. And let us just quickly introduce our captains as well, because they're pretty big names this year.
Sure.
So, first, we have Steve.
Yep. So everybody knows Steve. He's been around for a very long time. And this is actually his seventh head-to-head, and that is a joint record with a couple of other members. So yeah, it'll be another good season for him, I'm sure, and obviously first-time captain. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah, Steve is obviously not just not just one of the not really most vocal guys, but one of the most visible guys on Discord. He's also a really loved community member, and he's been active for so long. Second up, we have Dr. Dirt, and Dr. Dirt is someone I've shared many head-to-head experiences with, because I think we've been. It says here 3 times head-to-head champion, and I think we were on the same team for each one of those. So yeah, every time Dr. Dirt and I are on the same team, it's generally a very good thing for me. Dr. Dirt, standout last head to head, has put in so many things over the year. It's already his 5th head to head, and the first time as a captain. Then obviously, there's this guy.
Yep, the one, the only, the Liampie. I don't know. People say Liampie. I say Liampie. Yeah, 3-time spotlight winner, and obviously double head-to-head champion as a captain. One of the most successful captains, obviously alongside Cumber, and yeah, can he get his 3rd title this season?
Yeah, that will be very interesting to see. Just want to say, version 1 saying Fish trying to raise his draft stock during the ceremony. I think actually this is me lowering my draft stock, because you guys will know that I'm also busy doing other stuff. And I signed up last minute, but I have to do these videos too. I can't build that much. But next up, we have someone who lives in the same city as I do, who I play football with. We're on the same team, and it is of course Tolsimir, 2 times head-to-head champion. Made it to the Grand Tour finals just this year. Was it last year? Was it this year? I don't remember. With an incredible park, 5 minutes to 12. And yeah, someone who's been really strong in head-to-head over the years. I've been on a team with him multiple times as well, and he's just a bag of ideas. Definitely one of the captains to watch out for, and also a first-time captain.
Yeah, for sure. And then next up is inthemanual, my former head-to-head 7 captain, and of course former admin. Be interesting to see what kind of team he drafts this season. I think in head-to-head 7, a lot of people commented that he'd picked quite a few weaker, shall we say, members, but we did well. We made it all the way to the finals. and I'm pretty sure that he could do the same again.
Yeah, and last but not least, before we get into the draft, we still have Josh in cities, someone who's incredibly creative, who's been around the community for a long time. Very, yeah, friendly guy. Everyone in the community loves him, I think, and especially over the last years, he's brought his creativity into RCT. I would say, with some standout releases. Like, for example, of course, SeaWorld Barcelona, his Spotlight Park, that was a great park. Also, his Grand Tour entry for Namibia, just so good. And Liam is now moving to RCT discussion, and that's a good point by Liam. Everyone, we will be recording the chat in RCT discussion on Discord in the stream, so it's definitely appreciated by the admins. I would say if you also post in RCT discussion, because then we will just have something to look back to. We will also record this for YouTube, and yeah, I would say we're basically ready for the draft from our side, and I can't wait to see what the captains will choose, who the captains will choose, and yeah, let's just head over. And are the captains ready for the draft? I hope so.
I think they are. They should be.
Yeah, let's see.
Yep, they're ready to go.
That's perfect then. Okay, I can't wait. We have the captain's chat top right, correct? I hope so. I said that last time. Let's see one last time. The draft. Yes, this is the captain's chat. Oh, I have to scroll down. I have to scroll down. Very sorry for this.
There you
It
go.
should be it should be up to date now. We have the captain's chat top right. We have the RCT discussion from Discord bottom right, and then obviously we have the teams and the picks. Uh, and yeah, I can't wait to see this fill up. So from our side, whenever you're ready, guys, make your picks, and this will be really tense for our captains, I'm sure. And now will come a time.
Fish, you're on the wrong channel apparently.
I'm on the wrong channel, but okay. Let's see. Here we have the draft. Uh, what is the channel called then?
Yeah, there you go. You're on the draft channel now.
Oh, okay. No.
Oh, and the one underneath needs to be on RCT discussion.
Oh, I see now. I get it. Here.
There you go.
It is not updating. I get it now. I get it.
There
It's
you go.
always good
Just
to
remember
have.
to scroll.
Yeah. It's always good to have a couple of mistakes in there so they remember we're human. That's
So
perfectly.
the captains are just being informed of the rules. Obviously, we went over them a little bit earlier about the snake draft. So CC9 is the moderator. He will post who's up next, and we'll also confirm the pick before moving on to the next person. And obviously, Steve's got that first pick. Be interesting to see where what he's going for.
Yeah, would you think that first pick puts you under a lot of pressure because I guess you really have to try to figure out what the other people are going to do in the meantime until you finally get that second pick? Because the second pick is obviously still someone who you expect to lead a winning park.
Your draft chat isn't moving. Just
The
thought I'd let you
draft chat isn't moving.
know. There you go.
Okay, I have an idea for this. Now it should move. It's moving now, isn't it?
Yeah, now it's moving.
Perfect, perfect.
So Liam, ever the professional with his setup.
The captain's getting a good bit of banter in there, I guess, with the setup, with the reactions. Uh,
Yeah, that's always good in a draft. It
yeah,
takes some of that intensity out of it,
yeah, that
particularly
makes.
when other people steal
Yeah,
steal each other's picks.
Yeah, I've
I mean, what's Liam gonna do? He can't pick Steve or Tolsimir round 1 and 2.
that's very true, very true. That's probably something that he really had to think about. But I'm sure, knowing Liam, he has prepared something. We've all seen, because he shared it frequently over the last iterations of head to head, we've all seen how many statistic sheets he has, how much he prepares for who he thinks will go when. And I think he's had a couple of days, I think, since the draft order was randomized and was sent to the captains. And thus, I think he'll be one of the best prepared.
So he's on the clock. He's typing.
And
Who's it gonna be?
this is obviously
First
going to be
pick.
huge. First
First
pick,
pick of Head-9.
lots of pressure. Lots of pressure on this one.
It's obviously a long name.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And I don't just mean lots of pressure on Steve. I also mean lots of pressure on whoever is going to be first pick, because first pick in head to head, you're going to have to deliver.
He's really stringing this one out.
Just to be sure, there's not any more things that I mess up with my programs here. I just made sure to close Steam and Microsoft Teams, so there's no
Oh, first
pop-ups.
round pick, Extreme
Uh,
97.
that's a good pick.
Wow.
That's a good pick.
Number one pick.
And we can already see that Liam is quite pissed.
And the
Extreme
chat's going crazy.
Extreme 97
Wow.
came such a long way, and he's been known for making benches at the start, and then he's been known for making absolutely incredible stuff ever since his Ascension micro.
Yeah, and then obviously the fact that he can make objects as well, that's a
That's true.
must-have nowadays.
That's true. I think there's more object makers, but let's remember last head-to-head servers, of course, or multiplayer servers were a big thing too. I wonder if the captains are also thinking about that. I actually have no clue who last hosted a multiplayer server. I remember I was able to host one back then, and it was great. And since I moved, and I have not once tried to set the ports for it.
And Dr. Dirt is typing. Second pick in Head-9. Who's it going to be? God, everyone with the teasing, typing and then not typing.
Mm-hmm. You would think
And
that.
Alex is gone.
Nice. That's of course a really strong pick. Alex, one of the most reliable players to come up with incredible ideas, in my opinion.
For sure, and probably one of the highest rated players in the draft that hasn't said that they
Yeah,
won't build much.
yeah, that's very true. Yeah, hasn't doesn't Alex have multiple 90% plus spotlights? I think he does. I think if if it wasn't for his last 90% plus spotlight, he would still be a legendary part maker uh, by definition of the percentage. And that's absolutely a crazy achievement.
Liam's up. And it's FK. FK has gone.
Strong choice, of course, to a really, really creative player who can think outside of the box. And he's one, I would say, who doesn't need reference images, but who will just, or it seems like that to me, he will just have ideas and ideas.
Mm-hmm. Everyone commenting on the logo there.
Mm.
And Tolsimir's picked Leon.
I think he's
Another
asking. I
solid
think he's
round
asking
one.
who is Leon. He doesn't know who Leon is. It seems. No, he's picked who's Leon. Yeah, I think they were probably all expected to go round one so far.
Yep, for sure, for sure. So in the manuals on the clock. The anticipation, it's killing me. Yes, Recurious, there is technically a clock. They're meant to have 30 seconds a pick.
Yeah, we didn't have space to put the clock in the layout as well. No, there's not an actual clock like that, but yeah, 30 seconds.
But obviously, when people are going this high up, it's changing strategies, shifting what captain's thinking.
Exactly.
Things will probably get quicker as we
Yeah.
move further in.
I mean, it was quite surprising that the first couple of the first two picks basically took quite a long time already if you think about it. But right now it's already the
Yeah,
point where some captains' first picks might have already been shaken up. In the past, I think there's always been this where captains generally, I think, messaged people who they thought they might pick early, uh, and I'm sure some will have already been surprised by the other captains' choices and will have to rethink their plans.
and in the manual's gone Nin. Nin
Very,
is out.
very, actually not out. Nin is in, I would say, and Nin, obviously a very experienced head-to-head player, too, has always also been a captain himself in the past. Steve not liking that. Well, Steve has to wait a little longer till he gets his.
And neither is Josh by the looks of it.
Yeah,
Could
but
could that have been Josh's number one pick
yeah,
gone?
I think that could indeed be the case. That could indeed be the case.
It's their final round one pick.
Yeah. And Josh gets two picks in a row now.
He does.
I hope he leaves us a little bit of time for that transition to round two.
And
Hydro
Hydro Portal
Portal,
is gone.
and I'll be quick so that Josh doesn't do two picks in a row. And here we have it, round two. Hydro Portal, last round one pick. A really strong player too, who I almost expected to go even earlier than sixth pick, but yeah, just incredible what he has put out recently as well for Grand Tour, for
And a and
example.
a and a rookie number one. Rookie number one pick. For sure, Fred. The fact that he's that good but also is that quick at building. Definitely a number one pick for that.
Yeah,
This is a hard pick for Josh.
yeah,
You know, he's got 10 picks to wait until his third.
yeah, that's true.
And he's gone for Hubaru.
Oh wow, Hydro Portal and Hoobaroo.
Interesting.
Hoobaroo is a really strong player. Uh, would you have thought that he would be picked at number seven? Uh,
Probably not, but I think obviously Josh wants him that badly
yeah,
that he knows that he probably isn't going to be around when it comes
yeah,
back down to round three.
yeah,
Um, so I can totally understand. It's kind of how part of the reason why I picked Recurious last season in round three because I
yeah,
knew he would go before it came back down to me.
yeah.
But bold plays there from Josh.
No, I think Hoobaroo is obviously a very strong player. Um, it's just always you have all these people who've been active and have put out so many high rated parks, but they mustn't always be the ones who are actually going to bring you those head to head wins. Because I guess sometimes you're also kind of just counting on their reliability. They've been active for so long and have shown their stuff. But how about recent skill? And I think Hubru is definitely someone to watch out for, and probably the first surprise of the draft, in my opinion, being picked as
Definitely.
first round 2 pick.
And in the manual is typing. And he's gone Coco. That is the first, well, I'd say big name that has said that he won't be playing much. So that's an
Mm-hmm.
interesting pick there. That's something that is interesting about the round one picks. Actually, no one's gone for someone like Coco.
Yeah,
They've all gone for newer people that might not have been picked round one before. I think only Nin maybe has been picked round one before.
yeah, you're absolutely.
Everyone else.
That's a great observation. Honestly, I don't even. I kind of want to. 1 second. I'll quickly switch into who we've picked so far, um, because I already
Robbie's
don't
saying that
remember it.
Leon was round one last season.
We don't.
That's
One
fair.
second. 1 second. It needs to be updated. Oh, it's here. Okay, it's here now. Good. So these are the picks so far. Coco's second round 2 pick, and I guess I should have been prepared more to know that Coco said he didn't have that much time. But when I saw his name just now, and I don't have all the signups because there's so many, I don't have all of them in front of my or in my mind right now. But Coco going second pick round 2 is actually almost a surprise because he's of course one of the absolutely great players out there.
Yeah, for sure. And Tolsimir has just picked up AVC, so that's Tolsimir, Leon, and Avenine on one team. That's quite a spicy combination there. And Liam goes for Stormrunner fan.
Tolsimir, Leon, and Avenine. And Avenine Commuter, obviously also a player who's been so versatile in the past with just his creativity, and he doesn't ever build anything where you think, okay, I expected his stuff to look just like this. He's completely out of the box with all his stuff. Stormrunner fan has.
Yeah, and I'm quite surprised at that. I think that is that quite high for Stormrunner fan. Maybe I've been out of the picture for too long to really know the strength. Um, but that was a shock for me from Liam. I don't know what everyone else thinks in the chat.
Well, I think, and
Oh yeah, of course he did the water park. Yeah, that makes sense.
the Disney's Glacier Cove Park.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense
that
now.
was one of the greatest parks of that year for sure, and that was such a good park generally.
And Dirt's gone for Robbie. Dirt has gone for that head to head experience. This will be Robbie's sixth head to head.
Yeah, Robbie. I mean, from Robbie, whenever he builds a park, you just expect it to win. So clean, so technical, but also so pretty with his execution, and works as an architect in real life, just like me. Uh, and you can definitely see it in his building style because, and with the just like me, he does this much better than I do. It seems like he's the better architect because his stuff is down to the detail, something you would think, okay, this could be built in real life, and he gets the architectural components so right every time.
So Steve is up for the last pick of round two now. He seems to be taking his time, so I'm guessing something's happened in the last few picks that is making him rethink his strategy.
That might
By the
be.
looks of it, it's Stormrunner fan that's thrown the curveball. But he
Well,
is typing now, so we will see
well,
the final one.
if you do consider that water park by Stormrunner fan though, if he's just active more and
And
or
CP6, wow. Sorry to interrupt you there,
no, it's
Fish.
that's perfectly fine, perfectly fine. CP6 is obviously a huge pick too. huge guy. Also has a stream. So definitely check him out. Obviously, his YouTube videos, just such a strong player, and obviously his knowledge about theme parks is second to none, as he has that work experience around the theme park development as well.
Yeah, I think that that knowledge is going to be invaluable. Whilst he says that he might not be able to build as much, just being there on that team is going to be enough as a supporting player. And we all know that all these big names are saying that they're not going to build, but they'll all get the itch. They'll be there leading the park before you know it. CP6 has done 3 parks, all 50%,
Yeah.
and taken Steve's team through to the finals.
Well, for CP6, how many more after Allegheny adventure? I kind of think that CP6 will just do all the American national parks now, or national forests, and do parks about them. I don't know why. I have this in
And
my
that's
mind.
Bubsy. Bubsy is the first pick of round 3
And I wonder,
again.
did Josh want to pick everyone, because he seems to be surprised quite often in this draft.
It's tricky. Like I said, it's tricky being down in round 6. He's still got another 4 picks to go before he can make his third pick.
Mm.
Bubsy is a solid choice. If you can't get Robbie, get Bubsy. No, Bubsy has definitely come into his own now. So he's got his own style, and the quality is amazing. That recent screen, it just blew my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, Bubsy, I think he's always been technically absolutely class. I think his execution has honestly been flawless for a very long time. Very long. So Josh says he's just hyping everyone up. Okay, okay. We see how it is, Josh. Trying to play games with us. And Dirt has picked
And
Belgian
Belgian
guy.
guy, yeah, again another solid pick. The productivity of Belgian guy is through the roof.
Yeah, and that's a combination too that Dirt knows why he's picked Belgian guy, because they've obviously worked together on 2 parks last head to head where they won head to head in Team Space Crab. Dirt, reigning head to head champion, we have to add. Together with Belgian guy, they did Dig side and they also did Zerzura in the final, and that combination was just deadly, blowing everything out of the water in those rounds.
And Liam with the first DKMP player that has gone, Mamarillas.
Mamarillas. I hope everyone invited the DKMP people to this chat too, of course, because or to the stream too, of course.
what
Oh, we've
what a
got
picture in the
yeah,
chat
we've
there.
got an interesting picture in the chat. The NE admins better do their job. I'm just casting the chat here. It's not my stream's fault. And Mamarillas. Will we see some of those beautiful Mamarillas trackatecture structures? I'm forgetting the English words here.
It'll be incredible to see his ideas as well
Yeah.
come through. I don't know if you saw that RCT club screen that he showed recently with the butterfly and dragonfly in the air. That was really really good.
I don't remember right now if I saw it, but any of these like figures in works that instantly screams Mamarillas, and it seems to me he's done so many of those. Ah, that's actually the
Yeah,
football. Yeah,
that's the one that I'm talking about,
yeah.
Ion. Yeah.
Tolsimir with the shout out to me because we play in the same football team, and he just named that football team. Thank you,
I mean,
Tolsimir.
that was inevitable, wasn't it? You going to
No,
Tolsimir.
that was completely unclear. It was unclear. Nobody could have foreseen that. Obviously, Fisch, a player, no one really knows what he does. Never heard of him, honestly.
It'll be interesting to see how much you actually do contribute.
Yeah, I hope Tolsimir saw my post where I said I'm not really going to do anything this head to head. So let's see how that works out for him. I don't know. But we obviously know each other, and I think He's got some strong ideas for putting me on the substitution bench after game one.
And in the manual is up. Are we still in round three? I've lost track already.
I don't know, but according to my
I think we are round
yeah,
three.
according to the
And Pack is gone. The
oh
big
yeah,
names are falling now. The big names
yeah,
are being
they
picked
are,
up.
they are. Was this the last round three pick though? No, we still have
And no, we still
yeah
got
in cities.
Josh.
Okay,
Josh is coming
good.
up to his double pick.
I
He's
thought
waited a long time for these picks.
yeah, I thought for a second we had missed the round four overlay there or the transition, but just remind me again, are we doing a break after round three? I think there were supposed to be two breaks.
Yes, I think the breaks are at round three and round eight, so we should be coming up to a break after
Okay,
Josh picks.
last pick and then break. Just something on pack really quick. Obviously, his
Liam's
head.
saying he
Okay,
Liam's saying that they can go on a bit, so I guess we'll just wait until they want a break.
yeah, that's perfectly fine with us. I think break after round four. Okay, maybe it's just got really heated here. Oh,
Wow.
Liam is
I've
saying it.
gone. Round three.
Oh, there you are. I see it now. I see it. Lou, nice. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel good. You know, Josh is a very good guy. He was probably one of my top picks for being in the team. Um, so yeah, I feel good.
Yeah, and Fish, Pack, Lewis. That's three names right after each other. That should be one team in my opinion. That should be not to rip you out of your team or to diss my own team. I love those guys, but that would be a good team too.
I do have to admit that I was looking forward to being able to build with Pacificoaster.
Really?
But yeah, I think he's one of the players that I've not actually had a chance to build with
Oh,
before. So it would have been good too, but obviously
we will make
not
sure
to be this time.
to either trade you or Pack away from that team. Then I will personally ask Tolsimir about this.
So we are having a break for 5 minutes. If any person that has just been picked wants to come and join us for maybe an impromptu interview, just give us a shout,
Yeah, and we've just
and we'll see if we can get you into our broadcast.
yeah, an impromptu interview would be really great. Maybe someone as a field reporter to quickly give us an opinion on what's going on in the RCT discussion on any how the atmosphere is in there.
Yeah,
Uh,
Coco says he'll come into chat.
awesome.
So if we can get Coco some access, I don't know if CC9 has gone for a break or whether he's around to give Coco access.
Maybe Posix or Liam could give him access if
Have
maybe
we
not
got a
Liam. Maybe not
team?
Liam.
We're being asked for a team breakdown on the stream.
A team breakdown. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. The draft overview only for everyone. Okay. So, what do you think at this point? Do you have any preference as to which team is looking the strongest so far,
I
aside of the
mean,
one you're
obviously,
in?
I'm gonna. To me, I think the clear one at the minute is well, they're all actually quite balanced. Team five in the manuals team, he's got Nin, he's got Coco, he's got Pacificoaster. If Coco and Pack, if they really show up, then we've got a great team there. Obviously, then Tolsimir with Leon, AVC, and yourself looking strong.
Yeah, I'm not building though. I said right, so that's a goner right there. And then team
And
five, as you
we've
said.
got Coco with us. Obviously a round two pick in the manuals team again. Head-to-head 7 manual labourer returning.
Hello,
How
Coco.
how do you
How's
feel
it?
about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. It's definitely not how I expected it to go, but I'm very excited.
Good, good.
Well, how did you expect
I
it to go?
actually made like a practice draft order, and I guessed the order of the captains almost perfectly. I was only like two of them were swapped.
I hope you
So
know. I hope you know that the practice or the draft order though is the randomized part, and the draft itself is the non-randomized part, right? So
I'm good at guessing random numbers.
perfect, perfect.
Yeah,
So
well,
I
I was
do
actually
have to
surprised
quickly
Pack went
say
round
that
three.
my computer has decided to restart itself, like I warned.
That's
I
okay.
think
I
it's
can be
just
Lou.
so obviously I'm still on the voice chat, but I can't actually see anything to do with
Yeah,
the draft.
you're not missing anything right now because we are in the break anyway. Coco, you said you're surprised by round three, as in that you went so late or so early.
No, not me. I was surprised Pack went so late. I think everyone in these first 3 rounds could have been a first round pick.
Yeah,
This is a stacked draft.
it is.
There's some big names in this round. Fish.
Yeah, I think maybe I don't know exactly what the players who signed up said about their availability. If I was a captain, then I
Mm.
would have read everything. But since I'm not, I didn't read anything. So obviously a good choice to pick me as one of the hosts here, since I don't know anything about anyone. But Pack, maybe did he say something about not being available so much? Because obviously his credentials from past head-to-heads mean that he should be he should be one of the first names to go, one of the first names on the team sheets. And then late round three,
Yeah, he must have.
yeah, must have said something like that. And you yourself also did you say something like that? That you were less available this time around?
Yeah, I did say that. So I wasn't surprised to go round two to in the manual. We've been chatting a little bit beforehand, so
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a shocker. But I'm excited either way.
Okay,
I
I
think
see.
Tulsa's team looks maybe the most exciting to me.
How's that? Now, obviously, I want to hear all the compliments because that's the team I'm on. But
I mean, the round three pick's pretty weak, but other than that, that's an exciting atmospheric building. That's
yeah,
what I'm all about.
yeah,
Liam's drafted a high concept, high risk reward team.
yeah. But I think Liam's team is full of people that are really eager to show their worth, and I think like the point with Stormrunner fans, water park. I have to admit again, maybe I'm not always in the loop on all the releases on the website, but so I actually wasn't able to connect Stormrunner fan to that water park right away, but the water park is so incredibly good. Like you cannot deny that that's one of the best releases, or in my opinion, from the last couple of years, and just so maybe not. I mean, FK obviously really strong player too. He won the Grand Tour. Uh, yeah, he won the Grand Tour in the end, and Mamarilla is one of the really strong contest players from DKMP who has proven that he really wants to win those contests. So I think he's eager to do his thing. And then Stormrunner fan with his water park. I mean, if you then think about it, then suddenly it might not be the
Yeah,
names of Pack and Robbie, but that Liam team can definitely produce the goods.
absolutely. I mean, FK was probably my top player of last year by a large portion. Those are some incredible releases.
Yeah, yeah. FK has been so strong recently and also so consistent. What about the first two teams then? Any opinion by
Yeah,
you
I
on
love I
those?
love Extreme for the first overall pick. That's very exciting.
Yeah, yeah. He's been
Can't
so
say I'm
good.
so surprised, but that's going to be a sick team.
Yeah. And then Dirt's team. So I can tell you. Actually, you're absolutely right when you say this is a stacked draft because we had Dirt's team is the only one we didn't talk about so far. I think. Uh,
Yeah.
but
And Dirk might be the best playing captain out of all of them.
yeah, not only that. Also, last head to head, I was obviously actually thinking about it. So many Team Spacecraft members are captains this year, but Dirt and Belgian guy were on my team last time. Uh, Obviously won the finals, and Dirt and Belgian guy had such a huge influence and had such a good connection too in that draft. And I honestly think for Dirt to be able to pick Belgian guy round three, uh, now some of the captains might have not thought, okay, I'll pick Belgian guy round one or
Just to
Oh,
let
it
round
you
looks
know,
two.
like
the
the
draft
draft
has
is starting
restarted.
again.
Oh, it has. How
You
long
want to
has
kick
that
Yes,
me
been?
out? It's
only
been
just
fun.
recent.
Okay, okay. I'll quickly
So
See
switch.
y'all.
Josh has just picked Intamin 22.
Okay, so Intimate 22 has gone to Josh. Winning captain from last head to head. Winning captain. So There is some head-to-head royalty there. Uh, and just to quickly finish my point on Dirt and Belgian guy, uh, so I'm always surprised to see Belgian guy so underrated because he has that consistency. He puts out so many parks. He's such a fast builder, and from what I experienced on the team last head-to-head, I will say again, Dirt and Belgian guy had such good chemistry when building on their parks. They will for sure build something together again in this head-to-head. And if you have that as almost a certain winning park, and then still the other two on that team, I, I don't even like. Maybe I should have looked at who actually signed up to this tournament before signing up myself, because there is no guarantee that if you're going to produce a really good park, that it's even going to match what the other team does. It's just insane the quality here. Okay.
So in the manuals picked this score.
Um, has Coco left us again?
Yeah, Coco's left.
Just want to say, Coco, thanks for joining us really quick. Ziscore, really strong pick too, of course. And can't wait to see who Tolsimir picks here because that's my team.
And Silaki is gone.
That's an interesting pick. I don't know how active has Silaki been over the last years. Again, I'm maybe out of the loop here with the releases. Obviously, a very strong and creative player too. That definitely must be said. So, have you gotten over your computer troubles then, Lewis?
Yes, I have.
That's very good.
Until
very
it decides to restart again. But for the time being, it's okay.
Yeah, it's they picked the guy whose computer will just randomly restart, and the guy who doesn't know anything about the players in the tournament and who hasn't seen any of the recent releases as the hosts. Good job, admins. Good job, admins. At least they didn't pick us the other way around, that you would host the stream, because then the stream would be gone too.
Very, very true.
No, but honestly, of course, thanks again to the admins for giving us the chance to host this stream and for the great tournament organization already. It's shaping up to be really fun.
And we're waiting quite a while for Liam to pick here.
Is he here? Is he back yet?
He is back, yeah.
Okay.
And he's gone RCT fan.
Ooh, that's an interesting pick. Because RCT fan.
Will they get Vampire version 2?
Well, will they take you then on a trade? I talked about you being traded away from Pack, right? But for Vampire version 2, they would need you and RCT fan, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would, yeah. But would they want another vampire when?
Well, a
when
Finnish one wouldn't be bad. Finnish vampire back in the day when it was built, that looked so good, such a great layout. And RCT fan
Dr.
obviously
Dirt has just picked CC9, and Steve has now got the final 4th round pick.
CC9 gone. So basically, will we see a boat park from Dr. Dirt? I'm sure that CC9 at this point is probably sick of the boat stuff. Not the boat building, but of everyone just narrowing him down to being a boat building player, because he obviously does so many cool things in RCT. And CC9 is getting all the reactions here. 7 laughing emojis there. That's got to be a record in this chat, and I will give him that too.
Still waiting for Steve. And those laughing emojis are going up.
Man, I didn't know I could control the chat like this. Master of the puppets here. Josh wants to be the new top comment, so definitely support Josh, guys. Definitely support him. He's a captain. CC9 is the referee here. Josh needs the support, not CC9.
So Steve's still waiting. I'm guessing something's happened. But he is typing now, so we'll get our last round 4 pick. And it's Trav. Trav has gone to Team Steve.
Ooh. Obviously, you know Trav very well.
Yes, I do. We did say that we wanted to be on different teams this
Really?
season. Yeah, he wants to settle the score between Jerusalem, because that's when we last went up against each other in
Oh.
10-6.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember
obviously
that. His
Jerusalem beat out your
Disney's
New
Fantasyland. New
Fantasyland.
Fantasyland, yeah. Yeah.
But I think
New
that's a solid
Fantasyland.
pick for Steve, for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, either you're saying you wanted to be in a team with Pac, you didn't want to be in the same team as Trav because you guys wanted to go against each other again. Either you really had a great idea about how this was gonna go, or you're just making this up as you go. I think you've definitely had a good understanding of the draft pre the start of this.
I don't know, because I think there's quite a few, well, I wouldn't say random, but quite a few surprise picks. RCT fan going so early, I did not predict that at all.
Yeah, because of his activity, yeah. Or inactivity.
And then obviously Josh with the early, Hydro and Hoob. Obviously Hydro probably was a good first pick. Hoob was a surprise being in round 2. Steve's picked Zara.
Oh, that's a really good pick in my opinion. Very, I mean, Zara's hacking prowess will elevate any park that he's working on. His hacking is so good, and I think it's his first head-to-head, and I think he'll definitely enjoy taking part. And I think it's probably a good round for him to be picked into because he's got some of the, as a new player to head-to-head, he's got some of the big names ahead of him as picks before him that he can build with, and he's still picked early enough to take a somewhat semi lead on a park as well. So happy for him with that.
Yeah, interesting as well, because I'm assuming that Liam might have wanted him, for that, because
Yeah,
everyone knows that the FK and Zara go so well together.
yeah,
But it should be interesting.
that's true.
Steve's got a strong bunch of people there. It's emerging to be one of the stronger teams.
I will say my second monitor is actually so small, so tiny that I can barely see the team overview on it, because on my first monitor I'm just focusing on the captain's chat, just reading everything. And the Twitch chat too, by the way, is saying go Zara, go Z-Man. They're happy for him. And Josh just had everyone prepared. He wanted to pick everyone in here. That goes back to what I said before. Josh is a really nice guy. Everyone loves him. And it seems he does love everyone too, because he's appalled about everyone that he doesn't get, it seems like. Dirt is asking
RWE has made a good point. CP6 and Zara, they're both hackers.
That's true. Now again, with my second monitor being so tiny, CP6 and Zara were picked in the same team. I'm looking. Yes, they were. Okay. Well, is it maybe overkill with two people so good at hacking? Because as far as I'm aware with the rules, you're actually allowed to do hacks on other parks too? Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you can provide hacks for other teams. You just can't have any creative input in the rounds in the parks.
Yeah. And Josh is throwing out his love a bit too easily here now, I think, because whoever he doesn't apologize to now will instantly know that he's not Josh's boyfriend. So I think Josh, you got to be careful with these shouts, not to make people jealous. Or you just personally apologize to everyone. Then you're good.
And Dr. Dirt has picked. Dr. Dirt has picked Recurious.
Recurious, okay. So you said you've picked him quite early last time.
Yes, I did. Yeah. I don't think the last season signups were quite as strong. We've got a lot more people this time round. So round 5 is probably about right.
Yeah, Recurious obviously a very good player too. And because we have more people signed up this time and so strong people signed up as well, it's the first time I think that the teams were actually upscaled a bit with 13 players per team. So that's actually considerably more players. Split
And
vision.
Liam's gone Split Vision.
Oh man. I hope he does another park like Dragon Ball, his Dragon Ball park. Such cool ideas, and Split Vision, obviously, yeah, just someone who you think has that quality that he has great ideas, which is always important for head to head. To have people that will really push the creativity of the team forward.
Yeah, and I think Split Vision with Mamarillas would be a very good combination.
Yeah,
The two, I think, would go well together.
Steve, with the right questions here, is Liam baking a head-to-head cake? I don't know. Heaven's Cake as his team name. I don't know. That's obviously not the team name here. I'm just guessing. Or will he even continue with the Heaven's name tag? He has said in the past that he's dropping that, right?
Yeah, he has done. He said he's going in a different direction this season.
Okay. It will be really
Um,
interesting to find out about the names eventually. The names and the logos, of course. I guess Liam is already perhaps teasing his name and logo a bit here. Might that be an artist or is it? No, it's Milk, right? it's Milk. Tolsimir needs a sec. Seeing as he's my captain, I will go for absolute silence right now as to not disturb him at all. He needs this. I appreciate that the chat is following with the silence. Don't write anything right now, okay? Don't write anything. Tolsimir needs to think hard and good. Okay, enough silence. We can be talkative again.
Post six warning.
The clock.
How long are we gonna have to wait?
I just hope, seeing as he's my captain, I hope there's more than one sand clock emoji.
And he's gone
BSG.
for Big Shooter.
Ooh.
BSG is out.
Yeah,
Solid pick. I'm quite surprised he's gone this late, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would have thought he would have gone earlier.
What a good pick. BSG obviously with Billy Wonka's, for example, he built on that, right? Billy Wonka's
Yeah.
And then together with Tolsimir and myself, he built Asteroid Fields. BSG obviously really strong player, spotlight winner. So that's a pretty,
I mean, he says
steal.
he says that he says that he's not very good in head to head, but I beg to differ.
Well, I'd like to hear from him how much of Billy Wonka's was BSG and how much was Liam, because I loved Billy Wonka's when that came out. I think it's really underrated since Billy Wonka's such a fun park in my opinion. And sooner than later comes this time now where it's really not easy to be in the captain's position because everything you had thought of at this point, I think, who might be still available, who you want to pick, uh, is probably out of the window now. And yeah, so I think it's going to be really tough for the captains to kind of refocus and find out who they're really looking for here.
Yeah, I think as well these middle picks, there's so many people that could potentially grab a spot. It's a tight midfield,
Mm,
as in the manual drafts Otter Salad.
that's nice. That's nice.
Solid pick. Obviously, he's known for his no custom scenery, but um, he has dabbled in CSO in the past.
Do you
He
think
had a strong micro madness, I believe.
do you think we'll see many NCSO parks this head to head? There
I
haven't
think
really been
it's
any in the past, right?
I think it's inevitable that it's going to happen, especially with DKMP on board. So yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
inevitable. I don't know how many we'll get, but we'll just have to see, won't we?
And I just want to say, Josh again. Okay, hold on. I was going to get Otter. I will say, as I said earlier about Josh needing to dial down a bit, calling everyone his beloved players, or otherwise he'll have to send messages to everyone. I do actually have a notification that Josh sent me a message, so that better be that apology, or I'm actually sure it is. So actually, I'm not putting you under pressure here. It's actually really funny.
I
Oh, and
wonder how many captains are talking to their current draftees.
I think I think most of them will be doing that right now, because
Well,
they.
Josh hasn't messaged me yet, so
Well, he might. I don't know why, but he might be thinking that you're busy right now. I don't
that's
know
very
why he
true.
would think that, but yeah, it's obviously really important to try to keep the team chemistry up as well as possible, and for that, it's not bad to instantly get in touch with those people that you just drafted and maybe ask them for their opinion, especially now as it gets a bit more complicated, as the captains might actually not really know who to go for now. It's especially good to ask the players who they've worked with in the past. And Raunchy Russell, that's a new name to head to head too, right? I don't think he's contributed in the past to head to head. Obviously, correct me if I'm
No,
wrong if you know.
no, they are a rookie.
Yeah,
Screens are promising though, so
yeah.
good pick, and then Barnid for round 6.
I think it's so good that you wrote that pre-draft breakdown. Oh, Josh just picked Barnett. Okay, that's a good pick too. It's so good that you wrote that pre-draft breakdown because eventually, should we ever run out of steam, you can just read out that pre-draft breakdown. I won't have to do anything. Sit back, just enjoy. So Barnett round 6, and something I wanted to say also was we had this message here where Josh said, "Okay, hold on, I was going to get Otter," and in the manual actually said, "I know." So in the past, sometimes in past head-to-heads, there were captains that made picks specifically because they felt, "Oh my God, I needed to get this player or that player," but the other captain has picked them, and then who do they think did that other captain really want to get from the people that are still in the draft? So they then pick that player, so there can be a trade later on. Do you think
That's
something?
very true.
Do you think something like that is happening this draft as well? Uh, we
There's
obviously,
potential,
yeah, obviously
as in the manual goes, Disneylandian 192.
in the
I think
manual,
what is interesting
yeah,
about Josh's team is that there are quite a few newer members. But then obviously you've got myself and Intamin in there, and obviously Josh as well. to add some experience there. So it'll be interesting to see what we can produce.
That's true. Yeah, head-to-head experience is obviously valuable, but at the same time, also that eagerness can be really important too, just to get the parks finished in a good state, to not have any like super rushed parks. I can just speak for myself. In the past, so many of my parks, I started strong, and then after like a couple of weeks, I slacked a bit, and then the last couple of days, it was mostly Tolsimir bailing our combined efforts out by putting in huge shifts to finish the parks. And Space K, oh my god, I love Tolsimir for this, seeing as he's my captain. Space K on my team again. This draft is perfect now for me. Having Space K on a team is just that's just
yeah, it's a big deal. Possibly maybe a bit early, but in my opinion.
yeah,
But if you want that ride designer, if you've got those ideas that you need a ride
yeah.
designer for, you have to take that risk. You have to draft.
I will say, what round are we in right now? Round 6.
Round
Yeah,
6.
and I will say, okay, round 6. Space K has been a huge member for the community over the years now, and last head to head, despite him not building that much, he was instrumental to the team. Not only because he was so active, I was on his team last head to head too. He was in Team Space Crab with Dirt and Belgian guy, Tolsimir, myself, some others, and Space K. Such an active, influence too in a team, and yeah, I'm very happy with that pick. Although he has said that he would be producing stuff for other teams too, I think.
I think that was before he said that he was going to sign up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then bye bye other teams, I guess.
And Liam has gone for RWE.
Oh, did he forget the milk under this image though? Let's see. Has he? Where are Liam's? There was milk here. Milk here. Where are Liam's picks here? Oh, this was a Liam pick too. Oats, wheat. I don't know what the English term is for this. Okay.
And Dirt has picked Jappy. Jappy finally goes. That is quite a steal. I would have thought Jappy would have been right up the draft.
Oh, that's absolutely true. Jappy has not went yet, and honestly, some other names I can think of too. But we were actually asked before the stream not to really spoil too much who's still out there, so that it's not too easy for the captains if they're listening. But yeah, Jappy only going now. That's probably pretty surprising. Pretty surprising. Jappy has put out so many good parks in the past, and also a really creative player too. And the train reactions
Definitely
are
a
coming
steal.
out. Yeah.
Who is Steve going to pick for the last pick of the round 6?
Let's see really quick. So Jappy, last pick of round 6. Who was picked after Jappy then?
No one yet.
Then who's
We're
picked
waiting
29?
on Steve.
There. So on my screen, there's 2 picks missing for round 1, but Steve started, right? So that can't be true. Is someone missing in this?
Is there
this
an
list?
error on the?
Quickly switch away from this list then. Draft overview. Come back. Where are you? I made this much too small.
Steve has picked up 6 frags for the final pick of round 6, and round 7 starting with Steve yet again.
And 6 frags, another returning head-to-head player. That's
Yep, always does a solid.
Yeah, and he's actually
solid job.
He actually went to the final last time around for Liam's team, and he definitely doesn't only have that experience. He's also definitely got the energy from what I remember from past head-to-heads to lead parks. So at this point in the draft, that's definitely a good quality also.
And Steve is typing, and he's gone Mavericks.
Okay. What
Steve's
team?
team is looking very strong now. Very
Yeah.
strong. Very, very realism focused.
Let me quickly look at the teams. So in Steve's team, we have Extreme, CP6, Bopsy, Trav, Zara, Six Frags, Mavericks. Yeah, I agree. That's big names from top to bottom. And Zara might be surprised that I'm considering him a big name here, but he won Grand Tour and he had such a big contribution there with his hacking. So that's definitely a strong team.
And Dr. Dirt has picked up Rumi. A solid pick at this round. I think this is roughly where I predicted him to go. Just that creativity that he's got and the hacking ability. You know, he can play LL, he can play RCT2.
Yeah. Do you think we'll see many LL parks this head-to-head though?
I don't know. But you know, Rumi can always crack out an LL solo. He has done in the past.
Yeah.
I think it depends what the captains are thinking.
Yeah.
And with so many limited LL players in the signups,
So
it's just whether you can get that pairing together.
so if you're saying I don't know, then I take from that we can confirm that you don't have Jerusalem 2 planned just yet.
Not yet, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I haven't opened the game for a while actually. So
Oh,
I don't think I'd be very good.
Did your captain know that before picking you though? Did you hide it from him? No, I'm just kidding, of course.
I mean, obviously we've got Intimate 22, another LL player on our team.
That's true.
I don't see why we couldn't go down the LL route.
Yeah, that's very
and
true.
Liam is back with the milk
Yeah.
with a pick with an
Splashing-
ultra pick for round 7.
Splashing milk on ultra. Oh, I forgot totally. Even though we're in the middle of round 7, I want to get these transitions out. That was actually just the normal transition. Completely forgot to do that round 7 transition.
Tolsimir is up.
So now is the time for me to focus on the draft again. Tolsimir picks, okay.
Yeah, Trav's made a good point of in the chat that the teams are quite balanced so far, and they are. I think every team's got a surprising pick, higher than we might have thought, and I think everyone's pretty much got a steal as well.
Mm. So if there are so many surprising picks so far, does that mean, in your opinion, then that there's lots of other steals still to come? Like lots of strong picks that might come in the later rounds?
I think so. Yeah, I think you know, with the older players signing up and saying that they can't build much, I think that has thrown a curveball at this draft. You know, it's mixed things up again.
Mhm.
It's not your standard typical draft that we've seen in the past. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to see who's going to get these lower picks.
Yeah,
Particularly as we get towards the floater picks.
that's true. And I want to say, NE people, we have this great opportunity to show people how fun the community is. And someone in the Twitch chat just said he thinks the bottom chat, so the RCT discussion chat on the NE Discord, is frozen, but it wasn't. Nobody was writing anything. What's up with you people? Stop chatting to your captains and give us that hype in the chat, guys. And there is the messages.
Tolsimir has gone for Kumba. Or Kumba, I don't know how you say it. I say Kumba.
I always say Kumba. And Kumba, someone who would have been a great potential captain too. He's been a captain when I was first in head-to-head. And Yeah, he's been a big influence on my head-to-head experiences because my first time with head-to-head was honestly so much fun. Kumba really adds something to the teams by leading by example, in my opinion. I know that in the past, as with every other captain, some have found his approach to be too demanding or too much say for Kumba, but I think he's such a big influence. The question is, how
And
much
in the
does he still
manual
play?
has picked MK.
MK,
In the
okay.
manual picked MK.
Also, very experienced player with a good sense of color, in my opinion. I think his coloring in head to head. I say that because I think we use very similar colors often, and that instantly means to me that his sense of color is good. Whereas, for example, Jappy and I always get into disputes over colors because we use completely different sets of colors. So I always think his coloring is bad, and he thinks the same about mine. So MK, definitely, I definitely favor MK here for this tournament.
Josh has picked Fred.
And
Welcome aboard.
and that's
And that
potentially,
is a steal.
yeah,
That is a massive steal
yeah,
there.
that is a steal. Had such a strong park release recently with his Trips Drill inspired park. And Fred, so experienced too. He's been around for ages, it seems like. And he's
Yes,
seen,
head to head 3. I think he was even on the replacement list.
really?
Yeah, and we move into round 8, and Josh has. This is the part of the draft where it gets a bit less predictable. Obviously, I actually think the draft has been quite unpredictable, but
Yeah.
typically now it gets more unpredictable.
But
Um, as you scramble for those late talents.
thanks to CC9 for the reminder to myself that round 8 begins. Finally, I did one of those transitions again. I'm sorry, Roy, if I missed any of the videos that you created. And just how great is it that we got this presentation done in such a short amount of time? It's so awesome, and just so fun to have another season of head to head though, because we've been waiting. We've been waiting for years, or actually every time that a head to head passes, we wait for years. It's not like there's another pick, Swag Titties. That was the one name that I say and not you, and it has to be Swag Titties. Probably the most surprising name in the community, but such a strong player. He is from the Dirklink community too, right?
Yes, yes. I'm not sure if he's shown much CSO work, but he is definitely a very strong NCSO talent.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know if the people on Twitch are inspired by his name and just love it and are saying swag because of it, or if it's because they're friends with swag. What do you think if we look at the team lineups again really quick? Where are they? The team lineups. Draft overview only. I want this here. Draft overview only. What would you say? Are there any like bonds between players that you would really point out that will be big this head to head? Like people that have built together in the past, as we see Jaguar coming in for it in the manual.
That's a very strong pick there from in the manual. Um, I don't know. I can't off the top of my head think of anyone that has worked together.
Well,
Um,
well, I'll give you a bit more time because
personally, but
I want to just really quickly mention in Steve's team, he picked CP6 round 2 and then got Mavericks round 7. And at least from my understanding, CP6 and Mavericks uh, share a great enthusiasm for amusement parks. Obviously, a lot of the people in the community do, but not to the level of knowledge of these two guys, in my opinion. And
well,
I think,
they're both involved in the industry, which is a massive
yeah,
tool to have for RCT.
Yeah, and that could definitely be a good partnership in an already very strong team. Obviously not as strong as that Tolsimir team though, but or of course, seeing as we're in here together, the In Cities team, the Josh
I
team.
think the most obvious pairing to me is Nin and Pack
Oh
in
yeah,
Emmanuel's team.
yeah, that's
That
true
is a
too.
very strong combination.
That's true too.
It'll be interesting to see if Nin can get Pack inspired and get that park
Oh,
going.
I think I think that they definitely will get him inspired. I think this is exactly a kind of team that Nin or Pack would have loved to be in, and I think Coco too fits into that so well. Maybe he's a bit different in his style, but I think their styles actually can work together so well. And Coco adds that, like Nin and Pack have the cleanliness. Not that Coco's work isn't as clean; it's obviously so good technically, but Coco has that little spark, whereas Nin and Pack have that grand design about them, and Coco has that extra something that just pops. And I think together that combination, I don't know. There's so many good combinations here where you're thinking, how would any other combination even beat that? And then you look to the next team. I remember thinking last head to head where Dirt and Belgian guy worked together for two parks that they were an unbeatable partnership because they were even better than the sum of the parts as a group. Uh, no, the sum of the parts was better than. I can't even speak. I don't even know what
So
I'm
just
saying.
to give a quick recap, you've got Tolsimir picked Rene, and Liam's picked Jeff, as Dr. Dirt just picks up camcorder.
Thanks for that. Got a bit overly excited with the talking there.
And Steve is the final pick of round 8.
Camcorder by Dr. Dirt. That's also two people who were in the same team last head to head. So I think Dr.
Yeah,
Dirt
that's a dangerous combination.
I
That is very
I yeah, I
dangerous.
think Dr. Dirt remembers who he liked working or being on the same team with last time. Which then means he didn't like his time with me, I don't know, or he didn't get to pick me, but there's like Dr. Dirt must have had a really good experience last head to head because there's quite a few people it seems he was interested in from his team last time.
And Steve's asking for some more time as he mulls over his last pick.
Yeah, and actually what I'm saying isn't exactly true even. It's actually just Camcorder and Belgian guy from Dirt's team so far, who were on Dirt's team last time too. But still, I think Dirt had a really good experience last head to head.
I believe we're going into a break after this round.
That wouldn't be bad. Then I would probably grab a glass of water too. Gives me a good excuse to once more play the head to head draft anthem at least. I don't know if it's an official anthem for the whole thing, but an excuse to play that. Shout out to a great friend of mine who created it for us. Short notice, 2 days prior to this draft. Uh, he was notified and he created a beat for us just for this.
Come on, Steve. We all want a break.
He's taking
Steve's
the
picked
break.
AJ.
Taking the break before the break so that he can keep going while everyone else is gone. AJ,
So
that's nice.
Steve picks AJ, and that rounds out pick 8, round 8.
Okay, so quick break, is that correct then?
Yep. Quick 5-minute break.
Okay, then I'll mute myself really quick. You can mute yourself. We can maybe get another voice in from the chat really quick But first, I will play the head-to-head anthem once more, or the draft anthem at least. Be right back. Yeah, I didn't think about that when it was first created. I probably should have told my man to make that beat even longer. That's not a break. This beat, it's too short. No, it's huge thanks to him. We have our own music for the competition. Do we have anyone from chat who quickly? I don't know how much time we have left.
I believe Jappy is joining us.
Perfect, perfect. An experienced guy when it comes to NE events as well. Be our field reporter, Jappy. Or Yappy.
Welcome.
Hey guys.
What's up, Yappy? Welcome.
Thanks for the welcome.
So round 6, how do you feel about that?
I'm not gonna lie, I was actually chewing my nails for a second for being around 6 pick. I honestly thought I were going to go a bit high, but I'm far from disappointed. I'm not gonna lie about that as well.
In my opinion, it's actually quite different than people would think, because if one believes in themselves as like a strong player and then they get picked later, that just means that they have much better teammates than all the other round 6 or no, much better team compositions than all the other people who were picked in the same round. So I think maybe it's even a positive for you. But yeah, obviously, if you expect it to go a bit higher.
At it. But to be honest, I think nobody is really expecting the draft went this way. It's quite a lot of good people are still in it, and I suggest to all the captains, take a look around. There's quite a lot of talent still waiting to be picked up.
Yeah, and generally, I think overall it's been a very successful draft, though, in the sense that all the teams look really strong. And honestly, it's been quite a fun experience too with Louis here by my side. Actually, Louis and I, we've got a great chemistry here, even though we haven't really even chatted that much before. So thanks again, Louis, for even coming in short notice too, and yeah, just super fun. So Jappy,
It's all right.
How has it been for you? Finally, another head-to-head draft. Finally, another season of head-to-head.
Well, I find this head-to-head draft to be quite different to the previous one because, well, it was my very first head-to-head I ever did, so I had no idea what to expect. But this one is also quite revolutionary because there seems to be quite a giant mix of old-school members, like for instance, Rumi or Coco, or name any of the new Element regulars, but also quite a lot of the new DKMP members, which have flooded the community since the last 2 years, which creates a very interesting mix and balance.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Uh, I will definitely say that the influence DKMP has had in the past year or so, or 2 years, with new people coming into the community, that's definitely huge. And that also means, in my opinion, that there's more new styles being brought back into NE, where at a time it seemed like it was all about realistic building, all about realism, and suddenly fantasy is back on the rise again, thanks to people like FK too. So it's not only the DKMP people, but also some of the older fantasy playing members stepping up.
No, that's true, but I have a feeling that there's some sort of typical tricks of DKMP which might make their way into a new element as well. Giants, think of giant sculptures. Think of the way they tackle macro. Think of the way their use of pallets. It's going to be a very interesting season.
For sure, for sure. Who do you think has been the steal of the draft so far?
The steal of the draft. That's quite a tricky one. The first couple of rounds actually were quite predictable, with, for instance, Hydro going already in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
The steal of the draft, I think, might be, if I'm honest, Raunchy Russell.
Which round was he picked?
He was
Round
picked in
five.
round 5. I have seen what he has done on his latest project. He has streamed it quite a bit in a different server. His hacking skills are also incredible, and I think compare him with Hydro, and you've got a very, very dangerous park to be up against.
So that's good for you then, Lewis. You hear your team looking strong, Jappy says.
Yeah, I think we've got a good bunch of guys. I think we've got some strong upcoming members. We've got some established oldies. We've got a chill captain at the helm.
Yeah, that's very true.
You know, we've got people like Intamin that can plan for days. You know, I think that's going to be a great help. And you know, you've got Fred. I think Fred was a great steal.
Yes, Fred as well. Fred definitely.
And I think I think we're getting ready to go drafting again.
Are we
Sorry
ready?
to
All
cut
right.
you off.
No problem. See you guys.
Thank you, Jappy.
Thank you.
Okay, so that means what round are we going to be in? We were in round 8. Are we ready to start with round 9? I don't actually... Maybe I should just open the captain's chat myself again. Would make sense, I guess. As we're still in break, can somebody from the chat say something? I think there's some breathing. Some people said that we hear in the microphones. So Lewis and I, one of us, we have to get back from the microphone a bit, I think. No breathing, okay. Okay,
So
round 9. We were at the same time there. And beautiful transition, round 9.
And Jenny is in.
That's an interesting introduction there from Steve. Just dropping that name at the end of a love y'all shout.
I think that's a good pick. That is a very good pick.
For sure. He's not been part of the contest before,
talent.
right? Yeah, but his work has been so inspiring, honestly. That's definitely someone that you always click on their screens or his screens when he posts something new, because you know it'll be a bit out of the box a bit. So people know I'm building on a Studio Ghibli park right now, and I think he's a guy who is basically the RCT version of Studio Ghibli in that he loves to put nature into his parks as well, loves to put a charm and like a fantastical atmosphere in there. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he has to offer. Oh, and for once though, Josh is not mad at somebody stealing his pick. How's that, Josh? Give the man some credit. He has created awesome work in the past.
And another icon gone, another icon down, joining a new team.
Terry, nice.
Terry Inferno,
Yeah, that's
another
another.
solid pick.
Yeah, another known
Yeah.
member.
And skilled in both games.
Yeah,
I
We're-
say both games. I mean NCSO and CSO.
Oh.
I consider
I-
NCSO a
a
separate game.
different
now.
game. Yeah, I'm completely went with it too. I would have never realized. I thought you meant LL and RCT2, and I was like, yeah, he's a great LL player, great LL player. No, but we're in round 9. The round, like, there's more rounds than any other year, and there's still like people who are like known members, known builders being picked, and there is Saxman.
And
This-
that is a massive pick.
Yeah.
That is. Wow.
I don't know how if he can be anywhere near as active as last head to head, because then as a floater he was obviously the steal of the draft for sure. He made things tick in Team Space Crab. Obviously Dr. Dirt rightfully won MVP as far as I remember he did. But Saxman would have been a deserving MVP too. I think he was like round 9 pick or something like that. Maybe earlier.
Yeah,
I don't...
he was 9 or 10 because
Yeah.
that's when the floaters were.
Yeah, and he was on every park like the floater were expected to, but he was so influential on them too, and he was there for finishing all the parks. And I don't believe that he will put in as much of a shift this time, but he is such a strong player. And Tolsimir with Where's Walto? And Tolsimir likes to put pick the players that have questions in their names. So he's got Who's Leon and he's got Where's Walto. So do we have anyone else with a question? I think that would be a good guess. Where's Walto? A very, very good player in terms of the aesthetics, in my opinion, that he has in his parks. I think his stuff looks really clean too, and really strong player. I think that's another strong name for later on in the draft, because we are obviously in the fourth last round. So Tolsimir after this will have 3 more picks. And the last 2 rounds, or the last 3 rounds, are players that are eligible to be a floater. Can you quickly tell me? That's something I should know, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's round 11 and round 12.
Okay. So that's
They are the rounds.
Yeah, so basically
Floaters.
you're thinking, okay, we're in the later rounds. How important are the later picks going to be for the team? They can be invaluable, and especially then the round 11, round 12 picks as floaters, that can be absolutely incredible. If you get a good round 11 or round 12 pick, obviously people are still good, but if you get like a really stellar pick in the sense that that person will be super active and will really elevate the parks that he gets to work on as a floater, that will be just crazy. And maybe, Louis, could you quickly explain the concept of floaters in head-to-head to those that aren't perhaps aware of what it means, the term?
So basically in head-to-head, it was a rule that came in last year, I think, last season. So basically it's a lower pick that you can designate to avoid the couple of player rules. So there's you can't build on more than 3 parks. You know, no more than 3 players per park. And you can't and people can't play together more than once. But a floater can avoid all three rules. So you know, they can be invaluable. And we saw last season V1 built on all 5 round robin parks.
Yeah.
Obviously I can't think of the other floaters from last year.
Well, Saxman was one of the biggest players in the tournament.
Saxman, yeah.
One of the biggest players in the tournament.
As inthemanual picks up Swarmer. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Well, it's your turn to. You have to name the players, right? You pronounce that.
I think it's a Swarmer. That's how I'm going to pronounce it.
So another player who's new to head to head, or maybe not new to head to head, but a first time head to head participant, and it'll be so interesting to see the the parks of those that or haven't been in another head to head in the past, because obviously if you have your Robbies or your Packs or your Jappies coming up and you see their works, maybe recognizable to some of the uh, longer lasting NE members, but the new names are so exciting to see every time, and it's so cool to see.
As Josh goes, Iratant,
Yeah,
which rounds out round 9, and we move on to round 10.
thanks for the reminder. Round 10 coming up. So even more new head-to-head players, first-time head-to-head players being picked, and I will say again, I'm so glad that there is this new influx of players even from other communities as well. I hope there's some people from Reddit here today maybe who are also watching the stream. Uh, and I hope that whoever is new to head as a viewer as well will stay around for the coming weeks and month, and frequently visit the site again, nedesigns.com, simply because, of course, the Discord too, because you can read about new stuff there, but simply because these head-to-head parks are always such great content. It's so interesting to see all the cool ideas, all the concepts really stretching the
And
boundaries.
we've got a massive steal quite regularly
Oh
forgotten
man.
about in all these drafts as
Oh
Josh
man,
picks up Scoop.
and
And
that's
that is a massive pick.
that's something that happens in these drafts so often. There's so many people signed up, and I don't know, did the other captains must have forgot about Scoop for a long time, because that's a long time NE member who is obviously great. Like, he's got a great understanding with a lot of the top players. Uh, yeah, he has worked in head to head in the past, and or played in head to head in the past, and yeah, had some really cool parks too. So was
Yeah,
hoping to get
interesting
into
point.
float. Okay.
Yeah, interesting point that Josh makes. It does make you wonder whether people were holding out as we go
Yeah.
up the last sort of picks before the floaters come around. Whether Steve was hoping to scoop, if you like,
Yeah.
in round 11 as the first round 11 pick, first floater pick. But
Mm.
Josh just couldn't wait.
And yeah, it's going to be so intense to see who the potential floaters will be. But the floaters don't have to be named right after the draft, right? The floaters can be named a couple of days later. I would assume.
Yeah, they've got a few days to
Yeah.
discuss it with their team who they want to float.
Yeah.
So round 11, round 12, as long as they're one of those picks, there
Yeah.
can be discussions. Because it could be an important decision. You could have two equally good candidates there, and one might want to build on a lot
Yeah.
of things, one might not want to do so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, as POSIX has just clarified, 48 hours for floater assignment and trades.
Okay. For
And
trades
that's an
too. Okay.
interesting thing. Yeah, I think we mentioned it earlier about trading, but last couple of seasons we haven't seen any trades. I think the last time there was any trades was head-to-head 5. Maybe 6. I can't remember. I know I was happy with my roster in 6.
Yeah, maybe.
So it'll be interesting to see if any of these picks have been picked in
Yeah.
order to trade away.
Yeah. POSIX is typing in the manual, is taking his time, and maybe as in the manual is taking his time, some quick info for the people in the stream. We've got so many people watching this draft today, and great that you're all here. And actually, after the draft concludes, we still have a little surprise for you. There is definitely something coming after the draft still that will be pretty cool. Pretty cool. And there we have the pick. I wonder if it's again, I'm wondering about the pronunciation. If it's a German guy, then it's Jens. Jens. Otherwise, it's Jens. I don't know. So another new head-to-head player, and
An amazing pick. I've seen quite a bit of his work. He's probably one of the DKMP/RCT club people that I know
yeah.
quite well.
Oh, and people seem very upset by this pick, as I guess a lot of people wanted to pick him.
Yeah, and Tolsimir is
Yeah,
has sworn.
yeah. So obviously, just want to say also for the newer players, as we're approaching the later rounds, it's obviously probably huge too to see their names coming up here. Uh, it is, of course, still Roller Coaster Tycoon, only Roller Coaster Tycoon, but it is the biggest Roller Coaster Tycoon tournament, and you kind of want to take part, even though there is still obviously the replacement list if you don't get drafted, but just to see your name up there, be drafted, always a special feeling in my opinion. And as Tolsimir is also taking his time, Lewis, I want to ask you as a former head-to-head captain, at this point, what do you think? Would you usually suggest that captains at this point should rather go for the best team chemistry, knowing who has worked together in the past, trying to put a group together that like is just as comfortable with each other as if they had been a group before this draft? Or would you say that it's all about finding those players that have the best looking screens, even though nobody knows each other? How important is chemistry here?
I think you've got to find that balance. I think obviously, teamwork and that chemistry is really important. But sometimes, if you've got the majority of your team quite gelled together, sometimes it's worth taking a risk on a player if they're going to provide something in return. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
As Tolsimir picks up Mulder, another DKMP player.
Yeah, and he's posted a screen just the other day. If he's watching, I want to say great screen, Mulder. That looked really really creative as well.
As
So
Liam takes GeForce.
GeForce, like if he is active this head to head, then this pick is, of course,
that is a massive pick if he can play RCT with a trackpad.
Does he not? Is he like hampered in any way right now? Can he?
So
no
he's
laptop,
not got
no computer.
Yeah, no, a laptop without the ability to use a mouse.
Okay,
so he's a trackpad boy.
Okay, that may be tough, but I've heard from Liam in the past. I think like we were talking to Sadrit about the new additions for Scenery Manager, and they seemed super exciting. And then Liam had the question like, how about playing with the mouse pad? And it made it seem to me like there's people who actually do sometimes choose to play with the mouse pad. So I don't know. Maybe GeForce can make it work.
And they are probably the same people that play with the virtual floor.
Well, I do that too, I think. I'm very sorry. I'm standing in the corner and looking ashamed, looking at myself, ashamed. And but having a name like GeForce, a former admin, go so late in the draft just shows you how strong the lineup is this year, but also shows you maybe for Liam how well prepared he is, that he still has that overview of who's left. And GeForce, I mean, if he can really bring his best out there, then I don't know, he would be a pick for one of the first few rounds for sure, one of the first 4 rounds or something like that. And Shay, we haven't talked about him. So another member who has been active for quite some time now. I don't know how often he really posts new updates of his parks, but he's been around and he's shown really good stuff. Same for Mr. Brightside. So it's really exciting to see this mix of NE members who still have been around for quite a while, and this new influx of DKMP players or Reddit players, and it's so unpredictable at this point. And I wish I had like a cheating list where I where I could look at who all hasn't been picked yet, but yeah, just super exciting.
So yeah, as we move into round 11, these are the floater picks now. Steve getting Steve in quite a strong position, getting number one pick of the whole contest, and now
yeah,
technically number one floater pick if he wins.
Yeah, that's insane. And
and there is his floater.
That's not even that's not even fair.
There is no way that Sammy will not be the floater on that team.
Yeah, that's not even fair. We can conclude this whole tournament right here. No, but Sammy, another player who I think has such a great sense of color in the game, but also how atmospherical all of his work is just super inspiring. He doesn't always post new stuff, but he definitely is active. He has finished parks in the past, and he's a really, really good player in my opinion. Honestly, I think everything that Sammy has put out over the last, I don't know how many years, has looked really good. No matter if he put in more time or an effort into it or less time and effort, just such a strong player, and that's a potential floater. And Mersbo, another player who has been around for quite a while. I will say that I don't actually know much of Mersbo's lineup of like releases, but just assuming from him having been around for a long time, that pick also makes a lot of sense. We're seeing once more, we are very late in the draft now. Oh, I have to update this. Only updates if I click it. I'm very sorry, guys.
Interesting that Dr. Dirt went for Mersbo. Dr. Dirt has got Rumi on that team. That's a strong LL combination right there. Is that are we seeing the one and only LL Park being formed there in Dirt's team?
Yeah, that's very true. How are these people going so late in the draft as potential floaters? It doesn't even make sense. Coaster Bill as a floater, after Sammy also went as a floater. And this is no slight on Mersbo, that I reacted like this to Sammy and Coaster Bill as floaters and not to Mersbo. It's just Coaster Bill and Sammy have been around for so long, and Coaster Bill, a spotlight winning player, as a floater, as a round 11 pick. How active is he really going to be? I don't know, but I think Liam has shown in the past that he can really motivate his team to deliver. And if Coaster Bill is active and potentially a floater, that's such a big pick for
it is a big pick. It is. Coaster Bill can provide so much. He's got objects.
Yeah,
objects for days.
That's very true. And now there's my captain. Take your time here, Tolsimir. Take your time. No need to rush things. And Biohazard coming in, and he's actually helped me with Riverland in the past. I know, or when I created it, and I know how active he can be. Also a great influence, also someone who often used to be on voice chat as he was more active, who has really good feedback, really good ideas. So another known name, even though he hasn't really released that many parks, but he's definitely had his times where he was super active in the community.
So many strong picks going down in these late rounds.
Yeah,
it's crazy. You just wouldn't have thought these people still down here.
And we've got 8 picks remaining in total, right? Just 8 more picks to go before the draft concludes. And everyone who was not picked then, who was not picked by then, as my voice is going, will automatically be placed on the replacement list and will be eligible as a replacement should a player not participate or drop out of the tournament. As I once more just want to see here, just 8 more picks. And in the manual, taking his time. And it's so important to get these 2 picks right now. Having a good floater can be of such value for your team. And I will say again, I don't remember who it was, if it was Sammy or Coaster Bill, but I was actually actively like scratching my head as to how some of the captains could allow Sammy and Coaster Bill as potential floater picks. And again, no offense to Mersbo and Bio, who are also great in this potential floater position, but Sammy and Bill, that's 2 really big names. Really, really surprised by that personally. And it's Shen Kitchen from In the Manual. Shen Kitchen
And Josh is typing.
Oh.
And there we go. Josh with the
so predictable by now, Josh. But no. Shen Kitchen, another DKMP player, right?
And Josh now, I think, is going to have to think. He's got his last 2 picks together, round 11, round 12. Yeah. You know, both options could be floaters.
Yeah, he's got.
You know, he doesn't have to worry about that straight away. You know, we've got 48 hours before floaters have to be confirmed. Yeah. But these are 2 key picks, last 2 picks for Josh.
And 2 in a row. That can be really strong here now.
And still so many strong people left. Obviously, we don't have a list. Because I'm too busy hosting, I don't have a clue who is left. And
I have no idea.
And you know, do you take a like we were talking earlier about team chemistry? Do you take a risk on picking someone that could be quality but may not necessarily fit so well in your team, or do you just go with who's gonna gel?
Yeah. That's honestly now down to the captains deciding what's most important to that team.
And Josh has taken V1.
I'm sorry, Josh. The new improved version V2 is not signed up. I hear it's only V1, but V1, he was a floater last time. You just reminded us, Lewis, and he could potentially be a floater again, and it's another player who's been so active over the years and who's got many big releases to his name, and another player who goes quite late in the draft. And knowing V1, I actually wonder if he was already worrying about and that's no slight again, V1, but if he was starting to worry a bit about being picked in the end.
Be picked.
Yeah,
I mean, this is what I was. I mean, V1. Everybody knows V1 can be abrupt, and to the point, and you know, can occasionally rub people up the wrong way. I mean, this is what we were talking about earlier about, you know, people that do take a risk on someone that may not gel very well with your team. But I do have to say, as someone that's been good friends with V1 for quite a while, you know, he has improved recently, and I think Josh is right with the new improved version 2. You know, he's upped his skill. He takes on board feedback, and I think he will be a good candidate for the team. And obviously, he is in that floater pick. He can do the floating work again. He worked on all 5 parks last year. It's a good strong pick, I think.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with you on that. But I also want to point out that even the old V1, wasn't that like was already a really strong player too, and the new V2, we'll see what he will do in the tournament. And Posix just reminding us that the 2 hours mark is hit. Only one more round to go, and Josh needs 2 minutes. As I will make the transition to round 12, the final round of the draft starts whenever Josh is ready. Liam finding his ways to pressure Josh into picking perhaps a bit quicker. And not only did...
I think that...
Yeah, sorry, you go first.
Sorry, I think this is his last pick of the round.
Yeah.
As we're getting into all of these, I think everyone's going to take their time with this last pick because you're not only trying to round your team out, but you're also thinking, thinking about who you're going to go for and who you're going to upset by not picking. There's so many people that are going to be left out. Not everybody can play.
Yeah.
And that's the trouble.
How great is it, by the way? How great of a stage is it for Steve, a man that loves the big stage, to get the first pick and the last pick and the first floater pick too. He's getting all the big picks in this draft here. He has all the flashing lights on him here, even though it's not his turn right now. He will be last to pick. And suicide cars.
And Josh has gone Hex.
Yeah.
Hex, suicide cars. Good pick. Good last pick. And good to see him in the head-to-head.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So that means Josh's potential floaters will be V1 or suicide cars.
And both of which good options, and we've got some good NCSO players on our team. So could we see an NCSO park?
Yeah, I think an NCSO park has obviously never been as likely as in this head-to-head to happen in head-to-head, because NCSO has really returned to the big stage over the last couple of years with at least 2 parks, no, more parks. Even Shogo had a NCSO spotlight before the last couple of NCSO spotlights as well, I think. So lots of NCSO spotlights even recently, and that's something that perhaps at some point a few years ago seemed unthinkable, but it seems composition and creativity has really come back. And in the manual picks coupon,
that is a big pick. The trouble is, he probably is the best person that's left, looking at who is left. But is he going to be reliable? Is he going to be
active?
Is he going to be active enough? And if not, is he enough? Is he good enough to do 2%, 3%, 4% here on 5 parks? That's the value of this round 12 pick.
Yeah. And, well, in the manual, obviously, still has Shan Kitchen as his round 11 pick, so those two available for the floater spot. But Coupon, someone who's been in head-to-head in the past, who's had really strong contributions in head-to-head, as well as, obviously, with his Baker Lake additions over the years. Just been, obviously, a really, really strong player. A player who can go the realism route, and yeah.
And this just in, Liam asking if we can do one more round. I've been saying this all day that we need another round.
Yeah.
That another round, 2 floaters, 2 floating picks. So it doesn't muck up the rules. No rule changing really. 2 floaters would make each park incredible.
Yeah.
But Posix shooting it down with the 1 extra for fun.
1 extra for fun. Liam is an admin. He could have made this rule before the actual tournament started, and nobody would have said anything against it. And now it's not fun for the people who missed out. Okay.
I think this is just the craziness of the fact that we've got almost 100 people signed up for a contest that we normally play with 60 players. the fact that we've already got more people on board is a massive thing.
Yeah.
You know, had this been last season, we'd be looking at 39 people unpicked. That's crazy.
Oh man.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the fact that we've got this extra 12 people playing is an amazing thing. You know, it is a shame for people that are going to go undrafted, but there's always people that are dropping out. We get roughly 6 to 8 people drop out every single season. You know, and with the fact that there's more people on board this time, we're going to get more dropouts. So, you know, anyone that's on the replacement list, you know, just keep posting your screens, keep building in the background, keep showing the captains that you're there, and you will get picked up as if someone drops out.
That's really strong words from you there, Lewis, and I definitely agree with that. Anyone who ends up not being picked, definitely don't feel discouraged by it, because you can still take part in the contest, and it's so amazing for all of us in the community, in my opinion, to have the community be so strong and so lively these days. And like, we're glad for, like, the whole community is super glad for everyone who signed up, and even the not picked players don't go unnoticed. And we haven't talked about Tolsimir's pick, DDD Rob, another DKMP player, correct? I think he's another DKMP player who's come in the last year into the community. He's super well connected. I don't know much about his parks. I haven't seen many of his projects, but I think that's also a name who just shows, or who has shown to have that chemistry, and then that is needed for head to head. And then after that, Liam goes for Pokey, and Pokey, a pick like Sammy for me, in my opinion, who has a great sense of atmosphere, a great, I don't know, sense of color too, and who really knows, how to make things look pretty in the game.
And then obviously Phoenix Wing going to Dr. Dirt, and obviously we'll come back and talk about Phoenix Wing for sure, but obviously Steve is about to pick the last pick of the draft, which is a massive thing.
Last pick of the draft, that's crazy. The very last pick this head-to-head. One last transition in this draft that was needed, guys. I'm very sorry. I just love these transitions. Thanks again, Roy. And the drum roll from Po6. And just remember, guys, even when the draft concludes, we still have a nice surprise that will be coming up. And also, any captains who want to be on voice chat after the draft concludes, you're absolutely invited to join us here and to talk to us a bit about how it was for you to draft.
Yeah, Liam saying he can voice chat. That's great. Good to get his opinions on how his draft went.
Yeah.
So we'll look forward to speaking to Liam and maybe a few other captains.
Yeah, obviously Liam.
As Steve is asking for one more second, he is obviously consulting his team.
Yeah, and the last pick, and so many players not picked him. That's so sad to see.
So whilst he's keeping us on, he is typing. So maybe we have a decision.
And it is Kanos.
And that is a good pick. That is a solid pick.
Yeah.
That is your ride maker there.
Yeah. That's...
just quickly going back to Dr. Dirt's pick of Phoenix Wing. That's something that I did want to touch on. She has the ability to create rides as well. So that is, it's custom trains. I mean, so that's a solid pick for Dr. Dirt for sure.
And and the same goes for Kanos. Sorry to didn't want to take the spotlight away from Phoenix, but Kanos, same ability to create custom trains. We're looking at, for example, how Space Cake contributed in the last head-to-head with so many custom rides, and Kanos, such a creative guy too, and I'm super glad for him. I've been in touch with him over the last month, and a really nice guy, really good pick there from Steve. I'm very happy for Kanos, and I think that Steve has made a great decision there, despite all of the other strong players who are still out there. Uh, and Liam too is happy, as Kanos is obviously someone who is also very, very good for the community, bringing new
So I
content to
think,
the game.
sorry to interrupt there, but I think we have got one last surprise for everyone. We have got confirmed team names and confirmed team logos.
Exactly.
So maybe now is the time to quickly go over everyone's teams and reveal the team logos and team names before some people have to shoot off. Maybe
that's a really good idea. Really good idea. And yeah, we're just taking one look here at the teams, and we have the logos ready for you in the exact picking order. And I'm going to put up Steve's logo here. Team Steve. And it is Logan's Run. And I can say right now, I love this logo and I love this name. It's his dog Logan, who he's been talking about for ages on Discord. And that logo is so awesome. I love
and
this logo.
we have the emojis already. And it's such an awesome logo. That is probably my favorite logo of the draft.
Well, we haven't
of Head-to-Head.
I don't know if you've seen the other logos yet, but I will say that this logo is definitely special. And oh man, I can just keep this up, but I will go to Dr. Dirt's logo next. And that is the Scream Queens. I actually wasn't able to read that at first because my second monitor is so dark. And obviously we used dark backgrounds here too. The Scream Queens, I generally really like that logo too. I think actually all the logos will probably be superb. Shout out to those captains that created their own logos, as well as of course to the NE graphics team, who've really chipped in here with some awesome content. And next up, Liam, someone who has been on this Heavens franchise for so long. What will his team name be and what will his logo be? And he's hinted at it with some of the picks, I think. The Serial Killers for Liam. So the Heavens franchise is gone. What do you think about that, Lewis? No more Heavens.
I think it gets to the point where it's a bit uncreative going with the same name every time. So it's nice to see something new.
Yeah.
It's tongue in cheek. It's fun, and I think it fits Liam very well. So I'm really excited about all these team names. To be honest, they're all great, and the logos are great too. And people had already called it earlier in the chat.
That's crazy. That was. Oh man.
Liam had to step in and cover it up.
Really? I didn't see that, but that's crazy that they actually guessed that. Now my team, and I will say beforehand, I'm very sorry, Tolsimir, because we have the logo, of course, in here, but because we had the dark background but didn't choose the white version of the logo, I will say I altered it slightly and I had to put a white outline around it, so very sorry. But this is Team Tolsimir, the Tile Inspectors, and I hope it's not pixelated. I'm really sorry if it is. It's totally my fault. But the Tile Inspectors, and that makes huge sense for Tolsimir's team, in my opinion. It's not pixelated. I'm glad. At least I hear that. Tile Inspectors makes huge sense for Tolsimir because obviously he's such a craftsy guy with how he interprets the game, how he tricks the rules of the game, and the Tile Inspector perfectly comes in there. And I love how the like magnifying glass, is that the English word? I think so. Is actually a tile. Yeah. That's actually a tile. That's a detail. That's awesome. That actually kind of makes that logo for me really good, and it's classy. And next up, Next up, we have in the manual. Team in the manual laborers. Going back,
Surprise, surprise.
yeah,
As I've just slagged it off by saying that it's not very creative to have the same name twice in a row.
you should
But
be
no,
ashamed in the manual. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
think it is brilliant that he's bringing it back. It was a good team name. It was a good team before. It's always nice, like Liam, to have
Yeah,
one name that returns. And he's even got some of the original manual laborers on there. You've got Coco on there, and it's going to be a good team and a fresh logo as well.
yeah,
Fresh
for
logo. It
sure. The
has been
logo is
changed
really
up.
nice. Yeah, that's true. And last logo, last team name, Head-2-Head-9. The final team is Team in Cities, and that is the Adventurers Club, or without the, it's just Adventurers Club, and the compass. No, it's not it. The I don't know how you say in English, but obviously a compass with
Yeah,
the yeah,
compass and globe.
yeah,
It's very Islands of Adventure
yeah.
esque. And I think that that speaks volume for what direction Josh's team is going in, or seems
Could
to
be,
look
yeah.
like it's heading in. Um, you know, Islands of Adventure, it's heavy theme, but it's still based on realism. And you've got a lot of players on that team that can build like that. So it'll be good to see where the club adventures to.
Yeah, that could very much be true. Uh, Good wordplay there too. And
Thanks.
thanks for the logos to all the captains who made sure that they would be ready for the presentation here. And I think we have Liam with us now.
We do, yeah, and obviously other captains are now welcome to join our VC if they have
Yeah,
time.
I think if you want to join, I think you have to tell the admins or write it down that you want to join, and then I think you will be assigned the permissions to join the draft broadcast. And just
I mean, obviously this kind of concludes the official show, and it's kind of over. but it's nice to get some people in, and obviously eventually we'll open it up to everyone and join the main VC.
well, I would say that it's not 100% over yet, but because we still, I mean, maybe there's some things that the captains want to say, and then I will make sure also before we finish the stream, when everybody has said what they wanted to say on stream, uh, on
Well,
record,
yeah, for
because
sure.
obviously
I just
all
meant
good,
like
all
it's
good.
the serious
Yeah,
part of the show,
yeah,
so
all good.
the
No,
official
I
part,
just
shall we
meant
say?
yeah, I just meant when we're finished with recording, or before we finish, I will definitely show you guys once more, just for the hype, the beautiful trailer and the music. Can you see if Liam has commentary? Else wrap it up.
Liam, are you ready to talk?
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
hello. What's up?
Well, I'm still catching my breath, so
Yeah, it's quite. We were talking earlier about how different this draft felt compared to previous years. Not just in obviously the direction that your team has gone, but in generally, there's been some surprise picks higher up than people might have thought. And then obviously towards the end, you've got such strong picks in as the potential floaters. It's been so different to how it's been previously. How do you think your draft has gone?
surprising. Um, I had some different ideas where I wanted to go, but when there's people like GeForce and Bill left so late, you can't ignore them. And I don't think the team is any weaker for it. There was a lot of surprise. Like towards the middle, it was all over the place. And I think the DKMP players are kind of a wild card because they don't really rank anywhere yet in the kind of the NE ranking, because they're not established yet, so they could go anywhere. So I had no clue where they would go. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and obviously though, You've had quite some head-to-head experiences in the past. You've won it all before, but have the teams ever looked this balanced and this strong with such a strong lineup, in your opinion?
Well, to be honest, I haven't really had a lot of time to take in what the teams look like. Like barely even my own team. I actually did use Excel a lot here. I
No
I
surprise
mostly
there.
looked at the numbers that helped me guide my next pick. And according to the numbers, my team is ahead of all the others, except maybe Tolsimir's.
Hey,
Who's this?
Hi, Sammy.
Sammy.
Yeah, sorry.
Sammy is in.
I asked
Hey.
Posix to get Sammy in because Sammy mentioned earlier, and obviously he was number one floater pick, if you like.
Feels good. How are you guys doing?
Yeah,
Very-
good.
Very good. I think it's been so exciting, and yeah, just I don't know. Like you have the World Cup obviously for soccer or football, but even if you have to wait for that for 4 years, at least in between, you still have like the continental tournaments, and obviously football is a different type of yeah, popular to RCT as a game, of course, but obviously everyone in the community loves this game and loves these tournaments, and for head-to-head to only come around every three years, and for us to have been waiting and asking for it for so long, and for it to finally be back, that's just so exciting. And you can already read in the chat that everyone is super pumped and hyped about this. And everyone who hasn't been picked, I just want to say again, don't feel discouraged. For example, Latte, who has done incredible stuff in RCT, and lots of people who will definitely still get in as replacements. And again, so nice that so many people signed up. And yeah, Sammy, seeing as you're here, I was super surprised to see you going so late, and for you to be a potential floater is just that's incredible value. How do you feel about that?
I'm exactly where I wanted to be. This is my dream. I was worried that I was going to get sniped earlier on, and I wouldn't get to do the floater position because I can't build too much, but I think if I contribute a bit to every round, I think the money's worth is definitely there. That being said, I've not been confirmed as floater or anything like that, so it might be Kenos doing it. Who is also I've looked at his stuff from the competitions that have been going on, and he's been doing some wild stuff as well. Really, sort of come out of nowhere, improved rapidly over the couple of rounds he did. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if it went to Kenos, to be honest. These last picks have been absolutely wild. There's been so many steals.
It's been absolutely crazy that, like, to consider the fact that you've got yourself down there in a floater position, you've got Coaster Bill down there in a floater position, you've got Coupon down there in a floater position. Like,
Coupon,
unbelievable. Last season, these people were like mid picks, and we've got even more people involved in this season. So you'd think they would still be mid picks and not so low. But yeah, it's incredible to see, and I hope that they'll all turn out some great stuff.
Lewis, I want to have a bit of a nostalgic moment and remember back to, was it Revolutionists, when I was a round 3 pick, and then my disk exploded in my computer and bricked my computer like 2 weeks in. It was unbelievable.
We've been on a couple of teams together, with Head-to-Head 5 as well.
By the way, I've got a Lancashirian accent, guys.
And obviously Liam was on that Head-to-Head 5 team as well, and we were actually reminiscing. Me and Liam were reminiscing the other day about how towards the end it was just me, you, and him left.
Yeah, like Magnus disappeared. There's obviously no stay, no RRP.
No, and no RCT fan, no Magnus. It was just the three of us left, with the two of you working on that park. So, it shows that you've got dedication to make it all the way to the end.
It did. I was a replacement as well, guys. For those who haven't been picked.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So stick around. Just because you've not been picked so far doesn't mean you won't still be in with a chance of being really influential in how it goes.
Yeah. And just to quickly bring Liam back into this, if you're here right now, Liam, is there anything regarding? Obviously, you're a captain, but also you're an admin of the community and of the site. Is there anything regarding the time frame or the organization of the contest that you still want to say, or are we basically good to go? Or I think everyone is super excited here.
Wait, what is your question?
The question is, how soon do you think, like, is every team just ready to get together, start parks from this point on? Is there anything still left to we're left to wait on, or?
I think depends on the team. Like, there is a trade period.
Mhm.
So if captains still want to trade, they may not want to spill all their secrets, like all their ideas, if you're going to trade away a player. I know I'm still, I can wait a few days with the full kickoff. So I guess come Monday, we'll be building, but
Yeah.
not right now yet.
Yeah. Okay. Posix is also asking me to not get into this too much and to give you some time because you were obviously in a really intense situation for the last 2 hours with the picking, and that's absolutely true. And yeah, I think that we should probably start wrapping up the stream though. I think we've heard
Can
some.
I say something really quickly?
Of course.
I don't want
Definitely.
this to go unsaid. Thank you so much to you guys for doing this stream, and thank you so much for the admins for all the hard work they've done. All this stuff looks amazing. It's the most professional one we've had yet. I'm thrilled to be part of such a creative community.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
I think everyone who's really put in the hours in the last days to get this ready can feel proud of themselves here.
Fish has been working till 3 a.m.
I didn't
every
mean
day
just
to get this
myself.
done.
I meant Roy, for example, who's just so awesome with these videos that he creates and the transitions, and it's been easier than it looks, honestly, and it's so exciting. Yeah, and just awesome stuff, awesome hype around this, and I think thanks for those last words, Sammy. I think we're going to wrap this up with just once more the trailer of this awesome tournament. And yeah, I just can't wait for it to start. Here it is. And finally, I want to say, I think teams will probably already, some teams will probably already start getting together a bit with some messaging to all the other people who don't want to get together just yet. I'm sure there's going to be lots of action in the actual Discord voice chat still, so definitely stick around for that too off stream. I want to say thanks to you, Louis, as well. I think it was a great partnership here between the two of us. I think we teamed out quite well.
You guys were amazing.
Thanks,
It's
Sammy.
been good.
And yeah, it was great fun, and I can't wait for this contest to start. So hyped, and yeah, I wish all of you guys a good night. Any final words, Louis?
No, just fucking build.
Those are perfect final words. You could have left the no out. It's just fucking build. Okay, guys.
Good night, guys.
Take care.
See ya.